So how are you guys doing? You having fun? You learning some things? Feel like you're making progress? All right. So, any questions that came up over the break? No? All right. So who would like to enjoy a rather interesting trance experience now? Go ahead, come on up. Give him a round of applause, that's it. Woo! The price is right. For $4, you get a short trance. For $5,
what do I get?
nothing. Or should I say, no thing.
It's already started, Michael. Yeah, I was thinking about everything.
That you're missing something.
But there's nothing there.
That's why you have to find it.
We're gonna have fun.
That's
with
right.
this.
That's right. Nothing is something worth finding. No thoughts. No sensations. A mind in the middle of nowhere. That's right. That's right. All the way. All the way. That's right. And really search for no thing. Of value for you. Really know the thing that's more than everything. And simpler than nothing. I'll talk elsewhere. No need for you to end this trance until you found the right kind of nothing in here. Quiet, calm, peaceful. Now. That's the first one. Someone's looking at me like, what the hell just happened? So we're really going to be looking at the four key trance maneuvers of Erickson. That was the first one. Anyone care to hazard a guess what happened there?
Nothing.
Was it really nothing? But it was, wasn't it? But it wasn't. Ah, man. Is it happening again?
It's only day one.
It is only day one.
It's already day one.
You're all ready.
Confusion. Is it echoing?
Now I wonder which part of that arm you can really focus your attention on. That's right. And notice your unconscious. That's right. Beginning to move. You. In ways that are unpredictable, yet a pleasant experience. Up and down, twitches. You can go one way. You can come the other way. Lifting, rising, falling. Small movements growing, larger and larger. As you go inside, all the way, and learn. Really learn about connecting to your unconscious knowledge. so you can really know things more deeply. Now, I very much doubt that a hand will return to your lap any more quickly than you can discover that you know things of tremendous importance to you. And then you can just return feeling good all over for now. It's number 2. What? Is that indirect enough for you guys? Do you want to try number 3? Do you see that light? Right. The one with the shade.
Yes.
I'd like you to look at that light. Do not look away until your eyes close comfortably. And you discover, that's right, in a brand new way, all the way. Really discover you know things now. And only when you have discovered that, memorized it to your full satisfaction, do you need to return with your eyes open and feeling really good. So far, so clear? I won't be this ambiguous, I promise you. Do you enjoy that?
Yeah.
What happened? Did you discover something?
I'd like to say yes.
That feeling, you know that what I mean?
Yeah.
Close your eyes and really feel it. Notice how it grows, spreads. Automatically. I wonder when it will reach your fingertips. Will that be before or after you'll smile with delight? That's it. Something's happening beneath the surface. There's a lot of life in a lake that you don't see. That's right. And when you're ready, you can come back and look at the life you can see. With a smile. Right?
Yeah.
Wow. So anyone here a little confused as to what's going on right now? It's funny. The senior students at the school are going, nope, I get it. Everyone's just going like, what is going on? That was number 4, by the way. 4 of what? Any ideas? Trance inductions, yeah. We're looking at 4 core ideas for inducing trance, right? So what's the formula for trance, at least in our system, our school, our approach to things? ABS, absorb attention, bypass the critical factor, stimulate the unconscious. Did I have his attention? 4 times. Did we bypass the critical factor?
Yes.
Did something unconscious get stimulated? Now, we had no real purpose in terms of the internal work, so we just went with the idea of general building knowledge, opening doors up. We're just doing a bit of trance exploration right now. We're technically in what I call the trance training cycle, right? Still skill building, of course. But clearly, in terms of the requirements for trance to occur, we saw them happening 4 times, but in 4 different ways, right? So now we know that we're actually inducing a trance. What were the 4 ways of absorbing attention that we just engaged in? Anyone has to guess at least one of them? Eye fixation was one of them. So instead of just eye fixation, let's call it external fixation, right? We're fixing on some external object, because I can equally do it with listening. I can listen to the tram, for example, and that can still be an external fixation, that's not necessarily eyes. You get the idea, guys? Right? So which one was the eye fixation, by the way? The lampshade, right? And of course, there's some ambiguity being played around between the light and the shade, right? You get the idea? Never pass up an opportunity to not be understood by the conscious mind, right? What was another thing? What was another of the 4? Say again? A feeling. What would we call that? Where was the absorption of attention there? Internal, right? So it was an internal experience. So we have an external focus, and we have an internal experience. So we have basically the inner and outer mirroring each other. Lampshade is an external fixation of focus. Experience is the same focus, just internal. You get the idea? So what were the other 2 then? Confirming the experience. Well, that was more something we'll come on to tomorrow, ratification. That was just a device to help things along a little bit, especially because, thank you, by the way, yeah, Paul Mark had no idea which way we were going, just enjoyed the process, right? Yeah. So what were the other 2? Can you kind of remember roughly? There's some qualities to this. Say again? Language will always be present. That's our core toolkit, right? Trance phenomena. Yeah. So let's call it. You know what an old word for a trance was? It's like back over over a century ago, 150 years ago, something like that. Do you know? Say again? Mesmerism was one of the terms, but for the actual trance itself, so the hypnosis was called mesmerism, but the trance itself was called fascination. Right? When someone was in a hypnotic trance, they were in a mesmeric state of fascination, shall we say? Right? So does that give you a clue as to what was going on in the first couple of rounds? So we had a fascinating experience. One was internal. What was the internal fascinating experience? Remember what that was? Well, the feeling was really the focal point, or it could have been a fascinating experience, of course. We can cut the cake in a number of ways. So I think you're absolutely right. But I actually specifically avoided the feeling being the fascinating internal experience. Why? Because to avoid this very kind of little confusion thing there, right? The very first induction that we did was actually on a fascinating idea, right? Now, the idea I had in my mind was completely hijacked by his unconscious. Why? Because he started playing a word game with me around knowing everything and nothing. So that's the way I went, right? It wasn't the one that I had in mind. Why would I impose my one when he was offering me something much more fun, right? And of course, was it meaningful to you?
Yeah.
Was it somehow useful, even though you can't quite point it to how?
Yeah.
Right? How do I know that's going to be the case? Because he gave it to me, right? Can you remember what the fascinating idea was? Nothing. Nothing is, no thing and nothing is worth knowing. What? Yes, it's worth thinking about nothing, so you can know things. Now, of course, we're playing with language a little bit. That's where you were right. It was a language game in that sense. But really, it wasn't language for the sake of language. It was language for the sake of creating an idea that was so fascinating, so compelling, he wanted to dwell on it. Does that make sense, guys? So what's the fourth one? So we have a fascinating idea, we have an external focal point, we have an internal focal point. What was the fourth missing piece?
Fascination with the arm.
Yes. So it's a fascinating external experience. Right? Was it fascinating?
Yeah, I was really impressed.
Right. We didn't do much. But, of course, his unconscious was drawing the meaning out of that, and that's, of course, where the language and all those things come in. So there's four basic directions, and they're externally trance and go in, or at least get started by, shall we say. These are 4 catalysts for trance. External focus, internal focus, a fascinating idea, or a fascinating experience, right? Where does the boundary between an experience and an idea lie? Between a focal point and an experience? Who cares? What matters is the trance. You just have lots of directions to come at it from.